There was another named Ohm. This name was to be feared. The name is death, decay, and violence. A cold and fading moment. A mind not of misery in the few leaves of winter. A suit of armor beneath which lay a void. Where Issa's vision was of cultured landscapes, his was of the choked weed. Ohm's rage devoured the land. The winter approached.
a welcome sight. A minute more and I'd be joining our friends on the hill here. Thanks for the assistance. I just figured everyone out here in the Forsaken Plain was either a refugee or one of the freemen. Looks like I was wrong. I don't mind it as much as most, but I was raised in Tyr, so I can handle the heat. Can't stand the bandits, though. It's impossible to get a decent night's sleep. You've got to watch your step in the Forsaken Plain. For every cave holds a bandit. Every refugee might be a cheat out to swindle us all. The freemen are especially fierce, for they're fighting not for the take, but for their very survival. Not so different than you or I, they are. I'm a refugee, like the others in the tents. It's a desperate place. People will do anything to see the next morning. Steal, kill, you name it. Not all of us are from the village of Kulm. We come from all along the Tawili coast. Farmers and merchants, veterans and scholars. The Tuatha have put our possessions to the flame, but we will never accept defeat. Not so long as the leaders like Lord Crass and Elrod Edmund act as our standard bearers. Actually, I'm a bit ashamed to say. I'm searching for a grave, but not just any grave. The last resting place of Azo Raymond, richest of the Tawili merchants. They say he died early in the march west, claimed by the Forsaken Plain. Rumor has it he's buried with the famous rings of Azo. I could live a year on those. I'm glad to hear it. There's plenty of ground to cover between here and Rathir to the north, and another pair of eyes will be a huge advantage. Most of the graves are along the refugee route, usually surrounded by crude markings or gestures left by loved ones. It's a pity they couldn't do more. I heard Azo profited greatly from the war in the east, but that he was forced from his home when the Tuatha plundered Erethel. He moved west with the refugees. But the Forsaken Plain is no place for fat, wealthy merchants. They say he died quickly, with not a soul to mourn him. You're kidding me. And let me guess, the rings weren't there. That's just like Azo. Too smart for his own good. Was there something there that might give us a clue as to his whereabouts? Not that I would know what it is. Ugh. Bye.
The refugees aren't the only ones affected by the war. Yes?
Save me.
May I help you? There is very little of interest to know about me. I'm a simple scholar. I am here for the serenity, the quiet. It took much gold to secure a permanent residence here, and for reassurances that there would be few questions. They are poor creatures. I pity them, as should you. Where did you hear that name? The man you speak of is dead, and all of his wealth has died with him. I told you, I don't know the man. Enough. You're persistent, I understand. What do you want? I want no part of that old life. Not the gold, not the reputation, not the worry. I made that false grave because I was tired of people hounding me for salvation. Wish to know where my money is? I'll tell you. It's gone. All gone. All I have left are my family rings. I just want to be left alone, to start over. Can't you appreciate that? Please, show me some mercy. So it's blackmail then? My new life is worth more than any jewelry. You should learn that now, lest they try to put a knife in your back. Goodbye.
What do you need? Hello again. How are you enjoying your visit? Come again.
Hello again.
Good day, traveler.
I'm just about ready to give up. Tell me, have you heard any news of Britt Hagney or his final resting place? Great Mithoru! You're even more dazzling than I dared hope. You could have kept them, but you didn't. You are a friend of the Forsaken Plain refugees, and to me. Please, it is paltry, but accept this as thanks. May the Authority watch over you all of your days.
The Great Cycle brought powerful magic to Amalur. The arcane veil begat King Issa's reign, and all things in balance, also its destruction. The seasons passed, the summer wilted into autumn, and Lord Ohm culled his strength. King Issa's sway receded as does the shade at noon. The Feylands rested from their sprouting, and a haze of indolence silenced the woods. When the winter moon waned, it began. A terrible thunder rolled across the darkened plains of Erethel.
Then returned the prophetess to her people, who, content with largesse, would stay in their wintry country. Tyrion spoke, as I know, her silken robes the fabric of Lyria's hand. Hail! The words of the goddess I herald unto her people, and have I heard from starlit lands in her woven grasp. Her way is east, that way which we must travel, for these frosty vales are not beautiful. Our cousins, we say unto you, be no more troubled by our plight. We will go to the opposite ends of Alfaria, and be Dokkalfar content.
Oh, hello. Lovely weather. Have you spotted any sativa fiber? It's okay if you haven't. I'll keep looking. Lovely weather. I've always felt a kinship with the flora of the plains. Do you? Can you feel them break the soil with their stems? Their muse of thirst on the driest of days? I do. There is no richer region for reagents in all of Amalur. They say this is where the summer fae first rose from the earth. I find the fae very odd. How about you? I use it in potions to protect the corporeal form, to ensure health and longevity. It also makes a pretty decent aphrodisiac. That's something you're interested in. Why wouldn't I want it? I've been chewing it since I was a child. It's what makes me impervious to harm. I'm completely indestructible, in case you hadn't noticed. If you can help me get that sativa, then I will be sure to give you a discount on all my alchemical goods. My sister Molly is a trainer. She'll drop her prices too, I promise. Don't do it on my account. The Cradle of Summer will provide. You met Molly? I love Molly. We haven't seen each other for years. She likes to talk about alchemy, while I like to do it. Have you ever eaten star thistle? It burns. They have a nest in one of the small crevices at the foot of the cliffs. You'll know it by all the corpses. Oh, bye.
The barrier around the Cradle of Summer must...
My, you've gone and killed the spiders. How grand, how very grand. Normally I don't condone the killing of innocent creatures, but those are so creepy. You are too kind. From now on, you are considered a valued customer to all the Janiks. Everything is cheaper for the Spider Slayer. That is your name, isn't it? So long.
Are you one of the intruders? One of the children of the dust? What else can we possibly give you that you haven't already taken? The cradle of summer is not a flower for the plucking. For many seasons, we have protected this sacred space from the darkening influence of the mortal world. For it is here where we Summer Fae first set foot in Amalur. But with the rise of the Tuatha, the magical barriers protecting the cradle of summer have weakened. If this continues, nothing is safe from the blight of winter. I am Callum, guardian of the cradle. Terenier and I safeguard what has never needed protecting, until now. With our weakening magic, the Fae must tend to our own. They are Riviner Tarsus, Gloamfrost, and Ender's Fire. 3 incredible weapons forged to end a war that was threatening to engulf your mortal world. Such prizes, such items of power and importance cannot be kept in the open, and so they were hidden here. That is, until the intruders took them. A child of the dust wishes to help the cycle, where there is no precedent. If you truly wish to assist those of us in the deep slumber, you are welcome to. The 3 staffs were stolen from Sill Hollow and destroyed by the thieves who did not comprehend their power or their value. I heard their dying screams. The pieces must be recovered and the staffs must be reforged. If you can do this, you are more worthy of the cradle than I could imagine. But likely you will not. It is for those answers that I seek the wisdom of the slumber. For it is in its reverie where I will learn the whereabouts of these thieves, Raff, Purter, and Hagney. May your gods be with you.
Stay out of trouble.
It's nice to see you in the village again. It's a good life here. He was my gardener. When the Tuatha killed him, I decided to take his name. It was the only thing he had that belonged to him. Perhaps he lives on now because of me. Farewell.
This is a nice village. Honest.
Some of us fought.
Don't look at me. You're in my path, stranger. I ask that you step aside before I cast you off the cliffs. I hold it as dear as any fae, but my time had come. However, I took a piece of the cradle with me, a part of a weapon I was meant to protect. I'd earned that right. Can't you feel it? Ever since the Withering War, this stretch of earth has been enchanted. Some prefer to call it cursed, but I see all of this magic as a blessing. I walk the broken hills and ravines, searching for the answers to this question. What lies across the sea? Who is calling me with her fiery breath and knowing whisper? I was once part of the deep slumber, but wished to depart the dreaming to pursue something that is more familiar to mortals like you. Ambition. For seasons, I dwelled in the cradle of summer, as is my role in the telling. But something called to me from beyond the sea. A whisper of power and corruption. I'm plagued by visions of what your kind call the future. A telling beyond the present. It is all because of this new god. She clouds my thoughts, confuses me. You appeal to me using your mortal sense of guilt, something I truly do not understand. However, my role in the telling does not include Riviner Tarsus. Take my staff. The peace you seek is within. May it bring clarity to the deep slumber. I fought our winter court enemies right here on this soil. But it was all in vain. The seasons pass as they always have, and always will. There is no ending the winter. That's laughable. I don't know you, I don't trust you, and I don't like the looks of you. I just see it doesn't happen again, mortal. Go on.
Welcome. Care to join me in my work? You look like you could use a few moments of quiet reflection. This warped old rod? I can't imagine why you'd have any interest in it. It's a patchwork piece, cobbled together from bits and bobs. However, I did invest many hours of my life in its construction. My hands still bear the calluses. I would part with it for a price. I couldn't have parted with it for any less, you understand. A man's handiwork is still worth something. Enjoy the peace, and good day. Goodbye, then.
Yes?
Hello again. How are you enjoying your visit? We'll be here if you need us.
Tharu himself defend
Welcome.
you if necessary.
Well, hello. I've got spear hafts, but no spearheads. You can't sell just the haft. Sworn to war.
Sworn to war? Don't let the lash of Braid's tongue fool you.
The barrier around the cradle of
The deep slumber predicted your coming, as it did many things about you. You were meant to find the stars, to reforge them, and ultimately to keep them. Those of my kind do not flinch from the winter, but the nights grow exceptionally cold and the air holds the stench of decay. Mortals, it seems, will outlast us all. Take the staffs, wield them. They have called you as they once called down the lightning and lit the earth with fire. Do not lose heart on your perilous journey. Farewell.